Welcome back to Fourth and Troll Fantasy. What's going on, Fourth and Trollers? Welcome back to Fourth and Troll Fantasy, the most entertaining fantasy football show on the internet, in the world. We're back today. It's Noah Selby.
I'm Wes Selby.
And we're talking about rookies. We're talking the top 10 rookies, the 10 guys, the 10 freshmen, the 10 young men. They're going to come into the league day one, year one, and make an impact in fantasy football. We're talking redraft here. These are guys that you need to have your eye on. Some are going high in drafts. Some are going to go a little later. But they're all going to have a chance here to be real impact players for fantasy football. So let's jump into it. Before we do, follow us on all our socials. Everything's linked down below. And we are going to get right into things. Let's go in order here, Wes. I'm going to start out here with the number 2 overall pick, where we all maybe saw him going, but not to the team. The Jaguars give us a little bit of excitement here and trade up into the 2 spot for Travis Hunter. And he is going to be an instant game wrecker. Okay, it's a great opportunity here. Obviously, on the defensive side of the ball, he's a fantastic cornerback. But then he gets to step in here alongside Brian Thomas Jr. and automatically be one of the top duos at wide receiver in the league, giving Trevor Lawrence more opportunity. There's great chances here for him and Lawrence to connect. And then we've got Evan Ingram gone. Christian Kirk gone. There's opportunity here for targets in this offense, and so it's going to be a great opportunity there. Liam Cohen's got a chance to have his Mike Evans, Chris Godwin duo that we saw cooking up last year up in Duval. That's how it's going to happen, you know? That's how it's going to go. And you can't get rid of the draft capital. You can't not take that into consideration. Second overall. Really like Travis Hunter and the opportunity he has. I still think BTJ ends up being, the better wide receiver for fantasy in the offense, but Travis Hunter is going to be an easy, very high upside wide receiver 3, wide receiver 2 option for fantasy football. And so I think it's a really good landing spot. I think he has a good chance immediately to come in and ball out.
I'm also so excited for the one league that I have IDP in, and I'm taking Travis Hunter probably first round. I mean, are you kidding me? I can slot him in.
I'm in that league too. Oh, God, receiver. I hope I picked before you. Oh, I forgot about that. That's so
such a great
good.
Case. Are you kidding me? This is awesome. I mean, if he's
Sleeper,
really going to play
you better give him double eligibility. Yeah, you better give him double eligibility.
He's going to have to, man. It's going to be so great. Yeah, I think
awesome.
I right now anticipate he's probably going to be in redraft, probably close around the 4th round. I think it's a great opportunity to get high upside for wide receiver 2, and I think BTJ is still going to be great. All right, let's go over to everyone's number 1 pick in Dynasty that we're also really excited about in the redraft. That is the next coming of Barry Sanders, Walter Payton. Everyone's so excited about Ashton Jeanty. The Raiders were pegged to get him in mock drafts pretty much all offseason, and in fact, they did draft him. And, I mean, let's just be honest. No one's worried about Ashton Jeanty. Some people are wondering if maybe he fell to the Raiders or Jets or whatever team that it was going to ruin his career. Absolutely not. Day one, Ashton Jeanty is going to be incredible. And I really do think there's a case to be made. He could be legitimately the number 1 running back taken off of the fantasy board. Like, you can make a case Ashton Jeanty is not just first round, but can be your first pick over any running back. I know Saquon's in the mix. A healthy Christian McCaffrey's in the mix. We'll have all offseason to figure out where Ashton Jeanty's being ranked, but there's no question that he is going to be your RB1. He is immediately the best running back in this draft, probably the best fantasy player in this draft. There's only so much more to talk about until we actually start seeing how he does on the field. But Jeanty, superstar right away, should be a first-round draft pick. I don't see a reason why he shouldn't be your first pick in the draft.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think he's going to be fantastic. You look at the coaching scheme he's going to come with Pete Carroll. 14 seasons in Seattle, Pete Carroll had averaged being a top 12 rushing offense all 14 seasons. He even had some seasons of being the top rushing offense in the league in those Marshawn Lynch years. Lynch was a top, I believe, 6 running back, 4 straight seasons with Pete Carroll in Seattle. So it's going to be a good time there for sure. This next guy here steps into a great opportunity. It's Tetairoa McMillan, or T-Mac. As we've been told, do not call him Tet. That was made clear in his opening
Okay.
press conference with the Panthers.
T Mac is fine, but Tet's not okay?
Apparently so, yeah. He deferred to his
strange.
mother for why the answer of that, and she said, that's what I named him, so don't call him Tet. So, all right. But listen, great opportunity here. Last season I talked about this, and it was a great opportunity for another first-round wide receiver, Xavier Legette. I think this time we got a little bit closer to Dave Canales potentially finding his Mike Evans, his DK Metcalf when he had him in Seattle. I think there's a decent comp for Tetairoa McMillan, for T-Mac on both of those guys, and he steps into a great opportunity. I think he instantly becomes this team's wide receiver one. I know we love to talk about Jalen Coker. We love to talk about Xavier Legette. We love to talk about Adam Thielen. Like, those are all decent guys, but I don't think they have the opportunity to be an alpha for that Panthers offense. I think Tetairoa McMillan does, and I believe he will step in and see that kind of target share, see that kind of opportunity in the offense with Bryce Young, who's expected to make another step forward this season. I think it's really exciting for T-Mac, and I think it's going to be a good fit. I think the Panthers made the right choice going the number one wide receiver in the draft, arguably in some people's eyes, if Travis Hunter's going to play both ways. So I like the fit. I believe from an early point in the season, he is going to have an impact on fantasy football.
Yeah, it wasn't sexy. When he was drafted, it felt underwhelming. I saw on NFL and ESPN, the Panthers were graded like a C for the first round for drafting Tetairoa McMillan, but like, he's great. He's got sticky hands. He's awesome. And there's, like you said, a much bigger difference between trading into the first round, 31st overall to get Xavier Legette, and sticking at 8th overall and drafting T-Mac. There's a big difference, and I think he's going to be great day one. I know, like you said, Legette is good, but day one, T-Mac should have a really good opportunity. Let's talk about one of the most, I wouldn't say controversial, but most surprising choice for tight end selections.
I think both of those fit.
Both controversial and surprising. Colston Loveland, first tight end taken off the board. Chicago Bears, they love their guy. They got Colston Loveland, and I see this very much like a Dalton Kincaid situation. Cole Kmet is there with Chicago. He got a contract. He's there for a couple more years. Very similar to Dawson Knox with the Buffalo Bills. But when you have a guy in the first round that can change your offense, like Dalton Kincaid has been doing, not so much in the fantasy world from last season, but that rookie year was great. Colston Loveland, a lot of people did think he was better than Tyler Warren. That is something that we were hearing in the pre-draft process. Some teams had Loveland as a better fit for their team than Tyler Warren. That's the Bears. They think that. Now, obviously, the tight end position is going to be a little up and down. We don't know how consistent these tight ends are going to be, but Colston Loveland is no joke. He's the real deal. And when you're top 10 pick in the NFL draft, unless your name is Kyle Pitts, you're probably going to do pretty well from the get-go. And I think Loveland is going to be a good option. We'll see exactly where his ADP falls, because Cole Kmet's probably not going to go just right under the, just in the back seat. But Loveland can't be forgotten in this. He's a real difference maker for the Bears. And if that's the guy they want for Caleb Williams, 10th overall, then let's go pay attention to Colston Loveland. Let's get this guy. I think there's a real chance that even day one, Colston Loveland is going to be an important part of your fantasy team.
I agree. You said Dalton Kincaid, Wes. I said I wonder if we see him with maybe a bit of a Mike Gesicki type play from him, that kind of guy who maybe lines up inside, not so much on the line and that kind of thing. Then they took Luther Burden. It's really interesting. There's a lot of mouths to feed, but I think you can't overlook the 10th overall pick. So I agree. At number 14 in round one, the Indianapolis Colts took Tyler Warren, tight end out of Penn State. In my opinion, quite the opposite of Loveland. I think that was where everyone kind of thought, okay, here we go. Colts glaring need at tight end. Got to get the guy. I figured it would be Loveland going because I thought Warren would go before, but Tyler Warren lands in Indianapolis, and I think it's a great opportunity. I think Tyler Warren is like the closest thing I've seen to Taysom Hill since we have Taysom Hill. Like since Taysom Hill's kind of developed into doing what he's doing. I mean, the college tape showed a lot of similar opportunity and schemes and skills that Warren had, lining up in Wildcat, even throwing some passes, stuff like that. I suspect Shane Steichen's going to use him very creatively. I think we saw what he did a little bit with Dallas Goedert, and Dallas Goedert had a little bit of breakout early in his time with Shane Steichen in Philly. I think we've got a good shot here between these two guys, between Loveland and between Warren, to maybe get the tight end one as a rookie in fantasy for a third year in a row. It's definitely possible. Yep. And with 14th, top half of the first round draft capital, Tyler Warren definitely is a guy who can come in, have an opportunity from day one. I'm excited about Tyler Warren.
I have no problem with people going into the redraft taking Tyler Warren intentionally as their tight end one. I think that makes sense. I think you can absolutely go into the draft, wait, get Warren, and then he's your only tight end, and then just see what the waiver wire option has later on in the season. But right now, immediate reaction, yeah, Tyler Warren has the opportunity to be the tight end one like Sam Laporta was as a rookie and like Brock Bowers was as a rookie. I think he's still the number one tight end. Bears thought Loveland was a better fit for them, but Tyler Warren, Anthony Richardson might actually be. Nah, I'm not going to go that far. No, he's not. You can't have Richardson yet. You got to wait a little while.
Not yet.
But with fantasy players that we have been expecting to be drafted to a particular team, there were a couple options for the Los Angeles Chargers, and this guy here, Omarion Hampton, is, I think, in one of the most dream scenarios from this NFL draft. We were all hoping that the Chargers would take a running back. Kind of didn't matter which one, but when you get pretty much the consensus number 2 running back off the board, 22nd overall, this is fantastic. There's only so much that we even need to dive into because we know what Jim Harbaugh did with Michigan, how they were a ground and pound run first team. We saw the first half of J.K. Dobbins' season with the Chargers, and it was great. Felt like for a moment resurrected his career. Absolutely not. But let's also just remind everybody, don't even remember who Najee Harris is, okay? If you forgot, Najee Harris is there with the Chargers. He was picked with a free agency. Obviously, if he is someone that is that much of a factor in the offense, they wouldn't have drafted a running back in the first round. Omarion Hampton, day one, let's do it. Let's move on. I think Hampton can be probably top 3-4 pick in your redraft. I don't mean overall. I mean round. Like in your own team, he could be your third pick in your draft, fourth player that you take off the board. Hampton's going to be awesome. I think he's going to be RB2 with RB1 ceiling. I love this guy. Could not be a better fit.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really interesting to see where he ends up going because Najee Harris is there. I think there's a chance Hampton goes after Najee Harris in drafts and creating a fantastic value pick for Hampton in redraft leagues this season. So it's exciting stuff there. Let's jump on to the next running back off the board taken here, a guy that I'm really excited about. It's Quinshon Judkins being drafted to the Cleveland Browns. A fantastic opportunity for a rookie running back. When you join that room and the guys you have to beat out are Jerome Ford and Pierre Strong, I think you're in a really good scenario. Judkins, outside of Jeanty, was arguably the next best guy to be a 3-down back. Obviously, Hampton is in that conversation, but when you look at those two, I think they're neck and neck. I think Quinshon Judkins, I know Quinshon Judkins is going to step into a great opportunity here. He feels like a guy who's a lot like maybe a Joe Mixon type, who can step in, be a bruiser, go between the tackles, can bounce it outside if he needs to, and he's comfortable in the passing game as well. He can catch the ball. His breakout age was so young. His freshman year at Ole Miss, over 1,700 all-purpose yards and 17 touchdowns as like a 19-year-old person. As a 19-year-old human,
Crazy.
You're doing that on a football field with players who are bigger than you, stronger than you, and you're doing that. And if I'm being honest, Quinshon Judkins just feels like a Cleveland Browns running back. Maybe it's the similarities between him and Nick Chubb, but I do believe that he is in a very, very good spot to step in day one. I'm happy to reach on Quinshon Judkins in my drafts this season. I think he is going to be really, really good with the Browns offense.
Love it. Yeah, I think it's going to be fantastic. Let's talk about his old teammate at Ohio State. Let's talk about TreVeyon Henderson. I could not have predicted this was going to happen, but the New England Patriots take TreVeyon Henderson, and wow, I think I love this. Especially when you go 4th overall and you get Will Campbell and God, what a speech from Will Campbell there. I'm going to fight and die for this team. Yeah. I love it. So now you know not only does Drake May have pass protection, but you got even better run block team. And I just, there's not much more you can want from a rookie running back that's considered a top 5 in this draft, going to a team where, with all due respect to Ramondre Stevenson, TreVeyon Henderson is without question the starting running back, 3-down back. I think there's too much that went wrong with Ramondre Stevenson that you don't even have to think about it like you did with Omarion Hampton and Najee Harris. TreVeyon Henderson, I think, is going to be day one, immediate impact. Yes, the Patriots got Stephon Diggs. Yes, the Patriots also got more wide receivers in the draft, but I know they're trying to invest in Drake May. Why wouldn't they? But TreVeyon Henderson with Mike Vrabel as their head coach, yeah, you saw what we did with Derrick Henry. No, TreVeyon Henderson's not Derrick Henry, but there's no reason this spells failure. This is just success. This is all going to be awesome. And when you have someone who I think is going to be pretty much a later round in the redraft, like, I don't know, 6th, 7th, we'll find out where he is. I'm reaching on him too. Like, these Ohio State running backs are in such a great spot in this round 2 draft from this NFL draft. Man, I mean, you and I are going to be swimming in the running backs. This is going to be great. I can't wait to draft TreVeyon Henderson.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm not going to lie. TreVeyon Henderson was my RB2 in the class. And
yeah,
initially, I didn't love the spot. I really, really hoped he would go to Chicago. I really hoped, as we made it into round 2 and Chicago had an early pick then, that he would get there. He didn't. He went 1 pick before Chicago did, and before Chicago was able to pick. But I still think, yeah, like you said, no disrespect to Ramondre Stevenson, but when that's kind of your only competition, and I know Ramondre just got an extension, but like that was the old regime, that was the old coach, that was, I think they came in, and when you give a guy like that kind of draft capital in round 2, I think there's good things to come for TreVeyon Henderson. So I'm excited about that. Let's jump into Kaleb Johnson here because he lands with the Pittsburgh Steelers. I absolutely love this for Kaleb Johnson. This is fantastic. This is unbelievable. You watch the tape for Kaleb Johnson. He flies off the charts in your brain. You look at him, you go, he's incredible. And then he goes to the combine, and he runs a 4.57 40-yard dash, and I believe that's why he fell to where he did. I believe that's why he got that 3rd-round draft capital rather than that 2nd-round draft capital. But he's absolutely, without a doubt, the most talented running back already in that room. And that's no disrespect to Jaylen Warren. That's no disrespect to Kenny Gainwell or even Cordarrelle Patterson. Okay? That's no disrespect to any of them. But Kaleb Johnson easily can run away with this job. Arthur Smith loves to use a split backfield. He loves to give multiple guys opportunities here. I believe Kaleb Johnson has a role in this offense from day one, even with 3rd-round draft capital. And I'm really, really excited. I was really bummed that he had fallen into the 3rd round. And then when he landed in Pittsburgh, it rejuvenated me. And I'm really, really excited about this spot for Kaleb Johnson. I believe he has a big chance to do something here in year 1, day 1.
He was my running back too on my personal board. And so I was also very discouraged when he just kept falling, because when that happens, it usually means they're not going to be as fantasy relevant as you want them to be, but the wait was worth it. And I think, just like you said, he's going to be a great day 1 starter immediately for 2025 in redraft. And let's close things out with our final rookie that we think is going to make an immediate impact on day 1. That's going to be the new Denver Broncos running back, RJ Harvey, 60th overall selection. And speaking of personal boards, I was not high on RJ Harvey, okay? I had him personally outside my top 20 in the running backs, but this is why it matters so much where the players go in the draft. You can love guys and hate guys, but if they're not drafted to the certain spot that you love them for, then it doesn't matter. You throw it all out the window. This is a great example of someone that I didn't think was all that great, but the Denver Broncos did. And they drafted him 60th overall. And now I got to flip that switch and be like, you know what? It doesn't matter, because now he's pretty much going to be the starting running back for the Broncos. You get a starting running back. And I'll say he's quick. He's athletic. He makes the first guy miss. He's agile. He's all kinds of great speediness. And that's what the Broncos love about him. And like we have seen with Mike Vrabel and Pete Carroll and Jim Harbaugh, here's another head coach who likes his running back and likes getting good running backs with Sean Payton. And we know there was some good hope for some of these other guys in the Broncos backfield, but make no mistake, RJ Harvey is going to make a day 1 impact. I can't wait to see what his PPR value is going to look like. I can't wait to see what kind of play calls they use for him on 3rd downs, 1st, 2nd, red zone opportunities. There's a lot of upside for RJ Harvey, and I think he is one of the best players that we can finish this video with about making a day 1 impact for 2025. Here we go. Let's get into the season with some excitement. I love what's happening in this draft.
Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you follow us on our socials. Those are going to be linked down below. Join our Discord. We're always chatting it up in there and having a good time, dropping news for you guys and all sorts of good information. And we will see you next time. My name is Noah Selby.
And I'm Wes Selby.
And this has been 4th and Troll Fantasy.